Hello, hello, and welcome to When Movies Met Movies, the podcast where we look at a past year in film to further understand the present. I'm Dean.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Matthew.
So this week, it will be a very interesting week. I can promise you that. We will discuss first after, the catch-up section and the news. We are talking about Promised Land, Gus Van Sant's film from the bygone era of 2012. And then we were talking about his new film, Dead Man's Wire, which was released this January. But before all that, how have y'all been this past week?
I've been really good. I have become hooked, annoyingly so, on a TV show that I'm going to talk about right now. And it actually connects to Dead Man's Wire unintentionally, but it is so fitting that I got sucked into this show at the time I did. It is called Industry on HBO. And I'm almost ashamed to say this. In the past week, to clarify, I was sick, but it still doesn't make sense. I have watched 2.5 seasons of Industry on HBO.
Oh my god.
Two and a half. Okay. The fourth final season just started airing Sunday nights, HBO. And let me tell you, I highly recommend this show. You got Marisa Abela from Black Bag. She is incredible in this show. You have David Johnson, who has been in a lot of great movies. His character, my one complaint is his character is a little underutilized after the first season, to be honest, and they actually got rid of him after season 2 just because he wasn't adding enough. And you have Ken Loon, who is the old Asian dude in Old. He's not that old, but he's older, which is kind of funny because some characters make comments about his character being old, and now I'm unintentionally doing the same thing. But you would never know from M. Night Shyamalan's Old, but he is, let me say it again, Ken Loon, a phenomenal actor. Insane. But the main lead, well, one of the leads is Marisa Abela, but the other lead is from Dead Man's Wire, and her name, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Mahala. I might be pronouncing that wrong. She kind of has a stage name where she doesn't do any last name, but she is such an amazing performer. If you're listening to this, do not judge her from Dead Man's Wire, which we will get into when the time comes. But please do not judge her for Dead Man's Wire. Judge her for Industry, because the show is lit, especially season 3. Season 2, I was kind of losing hope. I was getting a little bored. But season 3, the 3/4 of it I've watched or so, insanely good. Up there with Succession, if not even maybe slightly better, which I never thought I'd say. I have never been so stressed out, besides Euphoria, watching a TV show. And this TV show combines some of what I love about Euphoria and what I love about Succession into one show. So it's absolutely phenomenal. So good. And you can learn about a little bit about kind of like the stock market and financial situation in the world, which I still don't completely understand, even after almost 3 seasons. But anyways, high recommend on it.
Nice.
All right.
What about you, Matthew?
Well, honestly, I have been mostly working on this podcast and editing it. So, what have you been doing, Dean?
uh, Not too much. I did in the immediate aftermath of recording last week's episode, which, as our loyal listeners know, in which we talked about Shame and the girl with the dragon tattoo. I watched David Fincher's Gone Girl.
Oh,
You watched
I
it?
did.
Oh my god.
I
What
did,
did you think?
and I
Was I
have not
right?
rated it or even logged it on Letterboxd, which is
Well, now's the time.
it's true. It's very true. I honestly was not the biggest fan of David Fincher's Gone Girl.
No.
I know.
aw.
I am so sorry. This must come as a major disappointment. But I
What
did
time did
not.
you watch it at night?
Honestly,
Did you fall
it
asleep
was
halfway through?
it was a 2-day affair, but
Oh my god.
late at night, fell asleep, finished it the following morning. But I personally do not think it is my fault this time because I just could not find myself getting into it. And, you know, the twist wasn't much of a twist. And I just thought that the script was so ridiculous in a way that I guess I should have expected since I knew it was like tabloidy. But I did not know it'd be that ridiculous and quippy and ultimately kind of, even though I've never read or seen any Colleen Hoover adaptation or book it's based on, it kind of felt like what I imagine Colleen Hoover's novels.
Wah, wah. Okay, for all of y'all listening, I want to just say a spoiler, but it's a small spoiler that you would think is huge. So if you don't want to hear it, skip forward 15 seconds or so. But the twist in Gone Girl is revealed less than a third into the movie, which is what I liked about it.
True.
I thought I had the twist spoiled for me, and I did. But I found out, oh, it doesn't ruin the movie at all. It's a third into the movie. So I disagree on that. So if you think you've been spoiled on the twist, still check it out.
Yeah, I definitely still would recommend that people check it out. But
Did you like it more than Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
honestly, I can't say that I do. um,
Oh, I guess you're not a Finch
Oh,
head.
nope. I I
well,
liked
I'm not
Seven,
either.
but
I'm
yeah,
the only Finch head, it seems, around here.
yeah, yeah.
But I am a
Maybe.
Gone Girl head. I am a Gone Girl head. Also, I love Carrie Coon in it. So,
Oh, she's great in it.
yeah.
She is the scene stealer for sure. And I also saw No Other Choice, which is incredible and was probably one of the best theatrical experiences I had.
Oh, wow.
Especially because I saw it in River Oaks Theater, where the audience always seems to laugh at every little thing that's even remotely funny. But this time it worked
I
out.
hate that in movie theaters. Even and that kind of happened to me in Dead Man's Wire, which I will elaborate on further if y'all remind me to. Um, but it always for me irks me when people laugh so hard at things because then
Mhm,
I'm instead of like the movie's intent or like because not all jokes will land in pretty much any film because
Yeah.
they're aiming to have a wide audience, to an extent.
mhm.
But I don't know. I feel like when people laugh really hard at things, even if I find it funny, it kind of takes away it from me. But you're saying it added for you?
Strangely, yes, because I am completely on your side most times. Just as an example, especially in old movies, they seem to do it. Like there was a re-release of the movie The Night of the Hunter. Great film, but people were just laughing for no reason, and it was outrageous. But I think No Other Choice has such like a it's it's Park Chan-wook and he directs it with such flair and not really giving a fuck about making it realistic or toning it down at all or making it restrained. It's very unrestrained and crazy and it's a farce. There are moments that are kind of like slapstick comedy, which I think it was good to have everyone laughing in those moments, particularly. So, very funny film, even though it is not at all a funny plot. Go see it. Moving on here.
Jack, do you want to take us to the news?
Okay, so starting off with our new news, we have our first story, which is that Catherine Hahn is in talk to play the evil mother in Tangled, Mother Gothel. Scarlett Johansson was previously circling the role, and something to add on to this is that the director of this upcoming Tangled movie is the same as Better Man and The Greatest Showman. I'm forgetting his name. I don't have it pulled up here, but he is a pretty amazing director. He has a lot of energy. So I normally wouldn't be excited for a Tangle movie, but those two announcements together have me cautiously optimistic. I think Catherine Hahn is a pitch perfect casting for this role. If you've never seen Tangled, the villain kind of is similar to Agatha, which she also played in the MCU. And I just think it's a nice jolt of energy, these two casting choices, Catherine Hahn and the director. So I'm excited. And what do y'all think of Tangled?
And she's definitely a better choice than Scarlett Johansson, that's for sure.
I agree. I agree. Great victory for fan casting is my only
Mhm.
contribution. Um, seems like she was fan casted a lot, and sometimes fan castings are not the greatest, but I think this time it was perfectly on the money.
I don't think it's gonna be any good though, to be honest. Like,
No, that's fair.
there hasn't been like any like great live action remakes, and this is just gonna be another one to the pile. Hopefully, I'm wrong though. Hopefully, it works
Well,
out.
have y'all seen Better Man?
I have not, but I have seen The Greatest Showman, and I honestly was not the biggest fan.
I wasn't the biggest fan
Um,
of Greatest Showman either, but
Yeah,
I loved
same.
his directing in Better Man so much.
mm,
Completely way more energetic than Greatest Showman. So I'm curious if this is going to bring his best talents or his worst instincts out. So yeah, I'm interested to see what happens with it. So moving on, famous director Brian De Palma has announced that he wants to shoot his final ever movie called Sweet Vengeance this summer in Portugal. First announced in 2018, it's said to be inspired by two true stories of murders and their true crime content. And he's interested in depicting how they'll tell the story, how they told the story of the crime and the way they did it on television. His last film, 2019's Domino, was a critical and commercial failure. And he's 85, so he's only getting older. So, are y'all excited to hear more about his potential last ever movie?
And De Palma's peak was peak, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna be any good to be honest.
yeah, I'm curious about it for sure, and it's always good to see that titans of cinema are getting
hmm
funding for these things. Although, oh yeah, so I guess funding is secured because he's set to shoot. I loved, Blowout, Mission
Great
Impossible.
movie.
Yeah, I realize, Jack, maybe you're not as keen on Blowout.
I am not. I don't think it's terrible. I just wasn't wowed by it. But I might need to recheck it out sometime. There were some cool shots for sure. And I
Yeah.
think he directed, I think, the original Mission Impossible, right?
Yes, you did.
Which is a really good movie. Not, I mean, the best for the
Mhm,
franchise because it kind of evolved into a different thing, but it was a really stylized film.
Yeah.
mhm. It
And
set
I
the
have
tone.
a
Yeah,
lot of respect for the man. So,
I think
yeah.
the style is probably the most. I don't know if it's the best, but a great style for Mission Impossible, and I hope he goes back to that style instead of whatever he was doing in the mid 2010s.
Yeah, I love all his split screens, and I just remembered there's a crazy split screen in No Other Choice that I really liked. It definitely seems De Palma inspired, so his influence lives on.
so moving on, Matthew, I think you're going to be really interested in this because I know you
Oh
are
yeah,
a huge Star Wars
I
fan.
saw
You're the
this.
only one excited for Mandalorian and Grogu, and you're probably going to drag us to go see it for a podcast episode. So for everyone listening, please pray for Dean and I when we will eventually have to sit through Mandalorian and Grogu. Unless the reviews come out and they're incredible, we probably won't want to still, and we will have to anyway. So wish us luck. But anyways, regardless, Star Wars Starfighter, Tom Cruise showed up to the set and actually shot a
Mhm.
lightsaber duel in the movie. Sean Levy, which is always a huge red flag, recently wrapped shooting Star Wars Starfighter. I know, ruiner of Stranger Things. Tells the outlet that while he was filming, he was preparing a lightsaber duel scene set in water, and then things changed once a helicopter landed on set. It was Tom
Ooh,
Cruise, and he jokingly suggests that Cruise should help out by jumping on a camera. But then Cruise, the insane man that he is, actually did it seriously. He grabbed the camera, walked into the muddy pond, and filmed the scene. What do y'all
wow.
think? Will we see his greatness in
Honestly,
2028?
this is
When?
the this is probably gonna be the only good direction from this likely mediocre movie
Oh my
coming from
god.
Sean Levy.
I don't know.
Uh,
True. True.
I heard rumors that Amy Adams and Mia Goth are gonna be a Jedi and a dark side user, so it'll
I
be
don't
interesting
care.
seeing them fight.
Not really. If it was a better director, if this
Well,
was Star Wars 10 years ago, I'd be pumped. But
I
now, you can't
Tom
even get
Cruise
me
though.
excited with Aaron Pierre. You can't even get me excited from that. Let alone the
Yeah.
amazing cast they assembled who are gonna look like Razzie actors.
Yeah, that's true,
So
that's very
uh,
true.
this isn't Sean Levy directing the lightsaber scene. It's Tom fucking Cruise.
It's Tom fucking Cruise.
Yeah, Tom fucking Cruise.
No fear.
No fear.
That will be my motto going into the theater.
He's
as
the Starfighter.
No fear.
It all makes sense.
yeah.
Tom Cruise is the Starfighter. That's why it's called that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
The Batman Part 2. Sebastian Stan
Wow.
in talks for Harvey Dent. Two-Face. What do we think?
Oh, not the first time he's played a disfigured man, I should say. But I don't know. I was hoping for someone else, but hey, Sebastian Stan's still a great actor, so hopefully it's good. Seems like it's going to be another Long Halloween adaptation, which is a bit unfortunate. This is like the 4th or 5th Long Halloween adaptation that
That's just
they've
all
done.
Batman is. Did you know that there's only 3 Batman stories that exist? And one of them is the Long Halloween.
Hey, this seems to be the closest one to the Long Halloween because ScarJo is apparently playing Gilda Dent. So
I do not
hopefully
know
it's
who
good.
that is. I'll be honest.
Hopefully it's good.
But
Harvey's wife.
yeah.
So no Rachel
Are
nonsense.
they trying to do an MCU ship thing here? Nostalgia bait from another universe
Hey,
with Black Widow and Buckeye.
Happened. Buckeye.
Buckeye, the famous dude Buckeye. Oh my god.
Armed and dangerous. Again.
Been forever, Bucky. Cut it
I hope
out,
the
please.
disfigured man Matthew was talking about was Trump and not Bucky.
I was talking about
Trump will return in Avengers
the
Doomsday.
other 2023 movie.
Oh
or
my god.
2024 movie.
I completely forgot about that movie. I still gotta see that.
What is it called again?
A Different Man.
A Different Man, yes.
Shit. How did I completely
I love how I've seen like almost, if not all, every MCU movie, and I literally called him Buckeye. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, I think he'll be good. I think we'll be good. Yeah. Any
Yeah.
final thoughts?
I like Sebastian Stan. He is great in The Apprentice, even though Jeremy Strong, just knocks it out of the park.
Are they going to be making Harvey Dent a Trump figure in the Batman Part 2?
Harvey's no Trump. He's a good man before.
No,
he
I know
became
he's not a Trump.
Two-Face.
He's not a Trump yet. Is he going to be made into one?
If anyone, I'd say the Penguin is the closest to like a Trump-like figure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The Penguin, I am really hoping he gets a violent and drawn-out death because of his actions in the HBO series. Or so. Revolting.
Maybe in part 3.
What a shame.
Or maybe never, because the Penguin is not a character that really dies in the comics.
Just like Trump. Unfortunately. Anyway.
We have Godzilla -1, 2, aka Godzilla -0, because they were like, we cannot name it that. Wouldn't that have been an interesting name for theaters? Godzilla -1, 2.
Godzilla -12?
They should have gone for it. Godzilla -12. No, but Godzilla -0 is coming this year, November 6th. So that is exciting. I've still not seen Godzilla -0. I need to, but I've heard so many great things about it. Yeah, it's already filmed, probably already done, but they're saving it for a prime release date. So it's really exciting. Yeah.
I'm so
excited. And on to other brief news. Ethan Hawke says his next film with Richard Linklater will be one of the greatest films of all time.
Oh, he is teasing us. Oh.
I do not believe it, to be honest, but we shall see. In the works since 1998.
He made the best trilogy of all time, as well as...
Well, that's that's a bit... I wouldn't say that, but I love Before Midnight and the Before trilogy overall.
I can't think of a better trilogy, honestly, off the top of my head.
Yeah. I mean, I can't because it's 10 o'clock at night and I feel tired. if I wasn't tired and I wasn't calling Bucky Buckeye, I think I could think of a better one. I can't right now, but
Yeah, future podcast.
Maybe you're right.
Who knows?
I heard he was great in Blue Moon. Still got to see that.
Still haven't seen it. It's playing barely anywhere for me, so I was not able to check it out. Richard Linklater saying he's all about cinema and then dumping his other film,
Nouvelle Vague.
I do respect the man. But my point is he dumped a whole movie on Netflix, and then the other one was in
Well,
theaters, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm like, great for cinemas.
it's more on other distributors not picking up the
I
movie.
know, but still, I'm like, come on, I should have been able to see this. I live in Austin.
Yeah.
If I can't see it in Austin, we got a problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, the home of the Austin Film Society.
Yeah. I think they were playing it at the Film Society, but not really anywhere else.
we got one more piece of short news before we have a major news thing. But the one last piece of short news is, did y'all see the teaser for Lee Cronin's The Mummy, described as a mix of Seven and Poltergeist?
Yeah. It didn't give much information, but
But did you see the tarantula entering the girl's mouth?
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that I was like, oh shit. This is
Yeah.
the
But
same director as Evil Dead Rise, which was
Right.
crazy. So I'm
I'm
excited to
intrigued.
see this movie. We'll
intrigued.
probably talk about it on the podcast,
Yeah.
unless it's
But
not playing anywhere. But
there's a bit of bad news around this. I heard James Wan walked out of a test
no,
screening
that
for
was
this.
debunked.
Oh,
That
that's
was
debunked.
debunked.
Okay.
They said in the same report they were changing the title of the movie, and then they released this teaser and they didn't change it.
Yeah.
It's The Mummy. So no, it was false.
No. Okay. Well,
But they were right
I'm.
about the tarantula, so maybe they knew some things, but I don't think they were painting an accurate picture. They were painting this as a disaster that they needed to change the name. And it could be terrible, but like they didn't change the name. So I'm not gonna believe the report. And maybe they saw, I don't know.
We shall see. We shall see.
I
We
don't
shall
know. We
see.
shall see.
It looks
But
quite
on to a really interesting topic of discussion. Big sigh there. This is from Variety. Alamo Drafthouse is
Oh,
getting
God.
rid of pen and paper orders
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
switching to mobile only.
I gotta say, I am, for the first time in forever, glad that there is only one Alamo Drafthouse in the Houston area, very far from where I live, because now I don't have to worry about this.
Are you guys excited to see people recording the film and then claim it was
Jeez.
them ordering food
Fucking
or going on
Sony.
Twitter?
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. Totally.
Yeah. Well, I think they're gonna end like mid-screening orders, but
That's worse. I want to be able to order
that's
food
Really?
throughout,
worse.
especially for
worse.
like goddamn like the Brutalist.
Yeah. It seems just like, who benefits from this? I guess they get more data.
Sony does. Sony does.
Fucking so-
It's ridiculous.
I mean, if it wasn't for Sony, this chain would have been gone. But because of Sony, we got worse food and now worse
Well,
ordering
the food's
system.
been pretty good. I've had good food there
The milkshakes
recently.
The milkshakes.
Well, not the milkshakes. I haven't had a milkshake in
The
forever.
fries.
The loaded the fries and the chips and queso
No,
at my
the-
locations have been great.
The fries have gotten worse, man. They used to be like crispy, even though like they're
Yeah.
cold. But
No,
now
they're like crispy
just...
and hot. The ones I'm not standing Alamo Drafthouse. I'm being honest. My location, maybe it's a
know.
locational thing.
Now
Those things have been good for me, but I haven't had the milkshake in a while.
Yeah, but now like the fries are like they're like frozen fries. I mean, like frozen fries aren't always bad, but these fries are like grocery store frozen fries. So
I really hope it's not just taking longer to implement in Austin, and that I hope I don't go one day and it's all gonna be crap.
yeah.
Yikes, yikes, yikes.
I guess we'll be seeing more of Aziz Ansari telling
Oh,
us
God.
to order 10 minutes before the movie.
Oh my fucking god. I can't stand. I thought it was a limited thing for Good Fortune. But apparently it's permanent. Him saying that. I'm
He's
already
been
sick
saying
of
that
it. It's
for
been
the
less
past
than half a
6
year.
months.
Oh my god.
No, it's been like 6 months, dude.
Well, they didn't implement it at my location. It came up right around the time of Good Fortune, like a
Oh.
week or two before it came out. And I was like, oh, it's a limited thing. But nope, we're stuck with it forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. But here's my
International
thing. I don't know how all these people are saying, like, and I'm all for movie theaters and like, oh, we need to protect movie theaters, but I don't know how so many people can support them while also not caring about them getting worse, you know? And now we're at Alamo Drafthouse, which should have been, not
The
like
premier
AMC.
theater chain.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Good
eventually,
times.
Netflix's 14-day windows will eventually come in handy. We'll be thanking them by the time these theaters get worse and worse. I hope I'm wrong, but it's terrible.
Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Much.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
let's go to the past. All right, so for the first bit of news of 2012, around this time, George Clooney was attached to direct and star in a World War II stolen art movie. This was eventually released in 2014, and it was not great. It was called Monuments Men, and
Mhm.
has George Clooney done anything good in the last like 15 years? Like he was doing like a lot of good mid-brow stuff in the late aughts and early tens, but I don't think he's been doing anything good since. What are you guys' thoughts?
I think he has, but I'm not like passionate about like he's not. I really like his acting, but I'm not. He hasn't been in enough in the last, like you're saying, in the last 15 years for me to
Yeah.
really see him in my head as one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, same. I heard the play he's doing on Broadway is pretty good. But
Yeah.
it's based on the 2005 film, Good Night and Good Luck, which is a great film. But as as you said, Matthew, it's from 2005 or something like that. So, yeah, not sure what he's up to. He had a good op-ed calling for Biden to drop out, but not
He's been doing a
exactly.
lot of good political work, I'd say, like
Yeah.
better than a lot of other celebrities. We might talk about
Mhm.
one soon, but yeah, since The Descendants, he's done Gravity, this Monuments Men thing, Tomorrowland, Hail Caesar, Money Monster, Midnight Sky, Ticket to Paradise, The Flash, If Wolves, and
Well,
Jay
does the
Kelly.
Flash count? That was a cameo thing.
Oh yeah, true. I was just
That
reading
wasn't
off the
a
list, but yeah,
Ugh.
besides Hail Caesar, everything else he's been in has been like quite bad to mid.
I will say it's
Yeah.
impressive though that he is able to still be seen as like a top-ish actor considering that lineup.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
I
he
think
had a
that
good
is that
run
really
in the
does show how
2000s.
impressive he is when he is in something, even if the
Yeah.
movies around
Yeah.
him are terrible.
Yeah. Money Monster is like a good mid-brow movie, or
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of a mid-brow movie, but on the good side. I think I watched that movie on Redbox, back when Redbox was still a thing. So, been a
Well,
while.
A long time ago.
a lot
Damn.
ago. Now we stick with Amazon or Apple.
Unfortunately.
The next bit of news is Lionsgate is closing down a deal to buy Summit. I feel like this is a bit similar to what's going on right now with Warner Brothers and what happened with Sundance and Paramount. Yeah, studios buying other studios is not a new thing, but this is pretty good deal for Lionsgate, but didn't end up anywhere, and now they're almost going bankrupt. So, yeah,
They have had a string of flops. Poor Lionsgate.
yeah. Uh, John Wick is like their only money maker, and he's
Mhm.
dead for now. So,
For now.
Well, Michael, unless it's atrocious,
Michael.
Okay.
will
Okay.
come for them. And
Well,
now it's
Is
apparently going to be 2 films unless they change their mind. So double money unless it's double
yeah,
flops. So we'll see.
are the Hunger Games still Lionsgate?
yeah.
Okay.
Summit was the producer on
Oh, the
Hunger Games,
Twilight
so
movies
yeah,
Okay.
for
Twilight
Summit.
movies too. Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
stuff.
Summit was a good purchase. It's just, oh yeah, Hunger Games is like their only moneymaker now, besides John Wick. Well, anyways, the next bit of news is minor, but Paramount pushes Jeremy Renner's Hansel and Gretel from 2012 to January 2013. Thank God we don't have to talk about this movie. Wish there was
Woo!
an app where we could discuss this. Am I right, guys?
uh,
No, I've never even heard of this rendition of Oh, it's the witch
rendition.
hunters. It's the witch
Yeah,
I see
the
what
hunters.
you
witch
did
hunter.
there.
They added that
Yeah.
afterwards because they were like, "Oh my god, this isn't even anything like Hansel and Gretel."
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we do not have a social presence on the Jeremy Renner app.
I don't think it's active anymore. Well, anyways, next bit of news. The Bridesmaid director, Paul Feig, boards a new project, which was called The Better Woman. This did not end up happening, but it seems like he's doing quite well for himself right now with the success of Housemaid.
Yeah, they just
Mhm.
greenlit a sequel and announced filming dates
Yeah.
already.
Wow,
The Housemaid's Secret with Sydney Sweeney once again.
good for her.
Interesting.
Well, seems like one failure does eventually lead to success. In the case of
Mhm.
Paul Feig. The next bit of news I want to talk about is that Disney bids farewell to Empty Carney. She was the marketing director for Disney movies in the early 2010s. And, well, let's see. What was her live action run was not great, to say the least. She did Tron Legacy. I think she was also part of the marketing team for John Carter and The Lone Ranger as well. So, yeah.
Well, this is marketing, so I can't really comment on how it was. I mean, I don't remember at
They
all how
didn't do
extensive
too well.
marketing was.
Didn't
Well, the
do
films
too
didn't do
well,
well,
that's
but
for
none of
sure.
those films sound like they were great. So it's
Yeah.
not like, I don't know.
I mean, Ricky Strauss was doing okay, pretty good. I mean, he had like a ton of billion-dollar movies, but then he moved to Disney Plus and he kind of failed. So he got fired by Iger, and now the director is Asad Aiz, and well, Disney's back to making billion-dollar movies now. So it's probably the right decision to fire her at the time, and the right decision to fire Ricky Strauss, because this guy Asad Aziz is doing pretty well for himself.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. And the final bit of news, this is a pretty fun story that we can follow along throughout this year, 2012. According to Deadline, there is a copyright infringement case because a British man faces extradition to the United States because this man, Richard O'Dwyer, had this website called TV Shack that listed links to pirating websites. And he made a ton of money off of that. And the studios weren't happy with that, so they tried to extradite him, and we shall see how this goes. We're following the story as it goes along in 2012, so
Oh, this
I
has
say
The saga
updates. We're
begins.
gonna
this
be
has
following that.
updates.
This is a
Yeah, we're gonna follow
saga.
this.
Okay,
This
I
is a
didn't realize
saga.
that.
This is
I didn't know that.
this is why I
Okay,
included this story.
we shall find out. Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay.
All right. Well, if you want to find out, you can continue listening to our podcast or look up his Wikipedia page. All right. Well, on to the main movie of this podcast, Promised Land. This was a movie directed by Gus Van Sant, written by John Krasinski and Matt Damon, based on a story by Dave Eggers. As we stated last week, Matt Damon was initially supposed to direct this movie, but he was kind of busy, so he decided to drop out of the directing duty. But he still starred in this movie. Yeah, this movie had an interesting release. It was released at the end of 2012, December 28th to be exact. So, and there is that. But it was included in a lot of best of lists for that year.
Huh.
But I think we all have a different opinion on that. Jack, what are your thoughts on Promised Land?
I'm sorry if I'm trying not to laugh. Okay, I will start. This movie broke me, okay? I'll start off with the positive, and there is a big positive, okay? The cinematography of this movie is fantastic, okay?
Linus Sandgren.
Yes, who
Yep.
I found
Yep.
out is the new cinematographer for Dune Part 3. He also did Babylon, which
Mhm.
looked stunning. La La Land, amazing cinematographer, and this little movie further proves that this man has the sauce with imagery. The town was really well fleshed out visually. From a directorial standpoint, nothing mind-blowing, but I do think with the cinematography and the shot selection, it really feels like a real place. So I do think Matt Damon in that regard was right to hand it to Gus Van Sant, but that is the only positive I can give because I don't know why Gus Van Sant agreed to direct this script. This movie. I guess the other thing is Frances McDormand was okay. She was likable. She's always great. And I can't say this was a great performance, but I liked just being with her, you know? And I guess I liked the perspective idea of following oil salesmen. Like, I like the concept if you just put it on paper. I don't have much more to say because it's all spoiler based. So we will get into it with the discussion. I'm baffled by this script. It's tonally inconsistent. It's self-serious and over silly at separate points during the movie. I don't know. There's twists, and they are atrocious, and we'll talk about, to me, they are atrocious, and we'll talk about them. And I really am baffled Matt Damon, and especially John Krasinski, would write themselves these roles, because John Krasinski is horrible in this movie. Holy crap, y'all. I don't know why, because you're saying he co-wrote this?
Yes, he did.
I didn't even realize that until you said that. I knew Matt Damon wrote it. I can't believe he wrote himself that
In
role.
fact, this story came from John Krasinski, and then he pitched it to Matt Damon. So,
Well, the story idea on paper, if you took out some of the twists, is actually a movie I think worth making still. And I think that in concept, you know, is a thing to make a film off of. And there are things to say about natural gas and the environment and all these things. I don't think this film says the right things about them, or at least has the right way of saying these things. I'm gonna give it for now a 4 out of 10. But the more I think about this and the more I talk about this, it could easily get even lower. And a 4 out of 10 for me, my scale is kind of where every point is like 2 times, you know, as good or bad, right? And we're at a point like a 4 is we're getting bad, y'all. So I'm willing to drop it even further, but we shall see. Talking about this movie, what did y'all think? I can't.
So, you know, honestly, I agree wholeheartedly with much of what Jack is saying. You know, first the positives. The cinematography is gorgeous. The I feel like I am like Aretha Franklin talking about Ariana, or no, she was talking about Taylor Swift or someone like that. And she
What are you
had
saying?
nothing
Sorry to
particularly
interrupt.
good to say about Taylor Swift. So instead of like complimenting Taylor Swift on her music or anything, she just compliments Taylor Swift on her gowns, her beautiful gowns. Um,
I see
and
where
so
you're
I feel
taking
like
that.
the cinematography, the gorgeous cinematography,
Mhm.
which, you know, credit where credit is due. Linus Sandgren did a great job with all these bucolic images of the farm and how pretty it is, how green it is, the lush landscape, which is being threatened by the scourge of fracking, which is a scourge. But just the last thing about the cinematography, I just loved the shot composition where it's like a painting by someone like, I don't know, some great painter of the Midwest like Grant Wood or someone, where they're like little people in the frame, and then it's just such a nice landscape. I liked the subject matter, I guess. I liked that it was tackling
We like that they tried. They
They
wrote something on
tried.
a piece of
they
paper
tried
that they
tried
should
so
have
hard.
written.
And according to the Wikipedia, they did get some blowback from the oil industry, which is, you know, at least a sign that you've struck a nerve. I liked what they were trying to do, but I don't know how well executed it was necessarily. Although I liked it at the beginning. I thought it was a strong premise and a strong opening. But then it just, by the end, kind of felt like a Hallmark movie. Without getting into spoilers, I genuinely think it would have been better as a Hallmark movie with these ridiculous cheesy things that happen with
Mhm.
the beautiful faced oil salesman.
Beautiful face.
Beautiful face.
Yeah.
I mean, they are in this movie. Do you think they're like that in real life?
Who knows? I would do shots with Matt Damon,
Well,
but
who wouldn't? Would you do 8 shots? Okay, sorry.
not that. But see, that was a great moment in the film, I thought at least, or at least a good one in a film where I constantly found my attention flagging and um, constantly found myself getting distracted by other things. And even, like there were like little details where I tried to stoke my own interest in it. At a certain point, Matt Damon talks about the environmental company or environmental group Athena, and he's like, "What is that? Is that Greek?" And I just thought it was funny because of the
That
movie he will be in this year, where he plays
Zendaya as
Odysseus.
Athena.
Yep, yeah. uh,
Uh,
so that was great, and that distracted me from the movie a little bit, and like made me a little
but that's not
happier.
really on the movie, though.
yeah.
That's just by chance.
Yeah, I just could not find myself getting into it, and instead I found myself getting more interested in thinking about these little Easter egg type things. Or the fact that there's a character named Jerry, and that's another movie that Gus Van Sant directed. It's called Jerry, which is a much better movie and much better
Also
directed.
written by Matt Damon.
Hmm. And Casey Affleck.
Do you want to summarize your thoughts? And
I will say good idea, bad execution, 6 out of 10.
well, I
I
think
found myself wandering and thinking about the Odyssey. 6 out of 10. My God.
I hope that movie will be better.
yeah.
I was basically about to fall asleep. I was half watching the movie. 6 out of 10.
I'll say my thoughts to round things out,
Mhm.
and I agree with you guys. This movie was something, that's for sure. Talking more on the sand green cinematography, I think like the way the image is grayed out is like perfect. If you want to make like a movie that looks gray, I think this is like the type of movie to do it with because it kind of shows that this town is like sort of dying
Mm.
despite having like a lush environment that he also captures really well. And like that contrast between like the grayness of the color palette versus the green of the environment like really works. But I wish it was attached to a better movie because uh this was like written by the Matt Damon that uh Team USA World Police. Yeah,
Oh.
that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, man.
This was written by that Matt Damon that the movie makes fun of.
Yep.
Trying to make a
Mhm.
political point across, so it doesn't really get it well across. Uh, Matt Damon himself in the movie was fine. Like the acting
Mhm.
in general was fine. I mean, Fred McDormand
Well,
was
Krasinski.
okay. Krasinski, yeah, okay. I think he was kind of trying to move away from The Office, but he's still working that out. Working that out, but yeah, Fran. I think besides Fran McDormand, like she's always amazing as a mom. But besides that, nothing much to say about the acting.
Mhm.
Okay, one positive I will say about the directing is I think on that bar scene, like Matt Damon writes those scenes like really well, and Gus Van Sant shoots those types of scenes really well, where like it's about people, gathering together
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
something. And there's this like one scene in the diner that like kind of switches up Matt Damon, like going from like a kind man who tries to like, sell the mayor on the idea to a man
Mhm.
who is trying to scam the mayor out. I think that was a pretty cool, shot composition and editing. But besides that, yeah, this movie is cheesy when it doesn't need to be cheesy and serious in a way that kind of ruins the points that the movie is trying to make by not going deep enough with the serious topic. Maybe Okay, this is going into spoilers, so I won't elaborate on this, but I'll talk about this more. But the cheese in this movie is off the charts. The way Matt Damon interacts with this woman is, like Jack said, straight out of a Hallmark movie. And yeah, I can't I won't knock Gus Van Sant's directing. I think it is fine. But
Yeah.
this script was just tonal whiplash, to say the least.
Tonal diarrhea.
Tonal diarrhea, yes, tonal diarrhea. And
Yeah.
I think this is probably like a 5, but I think it might be teetering on the 4 depending on how this further discussion goes.
Okay, well, let's
Interesting.
begin the discussion, and I want to first talk about the dual romance plot, not just Matt Damon,
God.
but with Frances McDormand and John Krasinski, barely for some reason being in and then out as a romance antagonist with the high school teacher.
What the hell was that about?
I don't fucking
It was
know.
the weakest attempt to set up a love triangle I've ever seen. Like,
And then like it doesn't get like what does John Krasinski do? What?
I don't know. And it was like he was like there at the school and like I'm like how was he allowed to teach these people? And also I'm like they did no background check because of the twist later in the movie. I'm like, so he was just let in, I guess, because he was sleeping with her. Maybe he slept with her to teach the kids, which I don't know why he needed to teach the kids when later on there's the twist. Let me just explain the twist real quick.
yeah.
Not trying to get off track, but so this all makes sense. It's all connected. The twist at the end with John Krasinski is there's 2 twists, right? There's the first twist and then there's the actual twist. The first twist is that the whole time he's putting up these signs, and oh my god, later we have to talk about the signs because that's a whole separate thing. What the fuck? Oh my god. Oh my god. But these signs he claimed was his family's farm in like the Northwest, or not even the Northwest, like the North, in Nebraska, right? Midwest, right? And if you look closer at the picture, it's a lighthouse and not an oil or natural gas rig, which I don't know why he didn't choose a better picture.
Or he could have just said he was from Louisiana.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Well, I mean, he was a mole, so
yeah.
And then yeah, and then well, yeah, that's what I'm getting to. And then it's like he's called out for it, and it's like, oh well, I had to stand up. I had to do what I had to do, to beat y'all. Like I had to play the game. But then there's the second twist, which I don't even know how. He acts like he's this mastermind in the scene, but he just gives away his entire thing.
Oh, there's
and
this
I'm like,
line that's so
why?
ridiculous.
Like, you were so like
Oh my God.
how could you not come up with an explanation for how you knew the picture you were providing was actually from Louisiana? Why didn't you just say, yeah, of course I knew it was from Louisiana because I lied about it? Like how? Like, hello?
Well, he was trying to hide the fact that he was a mole to Matt Damon.
No, I know, but he did such a terrible job. He did such a terrible job, and he was like,
yeah, it just was so like ham-fisted at revealing this. Like he literally says, "Oop, I shouldn't have said that. Oop, I am stupid."
But it's okay because we're on the same team. It's like he makes it out like he photoshopped this image, but like he used like a real image of this dead cow. So like, how is this supposed to make things any better? Like, okay, maybe if he photoshopped the cow or lied about how the cow has died, it would have made a bit more sense. But the fact that the cow still died from fracking, like, how
literally
is he
by the same company, global?
Yeah, and I'm like, he's acting like he's this mastermind. Like he's like I played the game the whole time, and like I'm one step ahead of you. And then he just gave away he was a mole for no reason, and then he leaves, and I'm like, so he was a mole by the same company Matt Damon was working for, so that Matt Damon would purposefully expose him, and then they flip. But what I don't understand with the logic is how they knew the town would immediately turn back to him and not
Yeah.
just be like, I don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck to do now.
Like, if I'm a
Yeah.
townsperson, like, those are still dead cows there. Like,
Yeah,
who cares if
exactly.
they're in Louisiana?
But it's in
Or
Louisiana, so who cares? It wasn't in Nebraska.
those darn
Yeah.
Louisianans.
And I don't understand why he gave away himself that easily. I don't understand why the company, if you're sending your townspeople there, here's what didn't make sense to me, okay? In the beginning of the movie, Matt Damon goes to the guy, and he's, like you were mentioning with the diner scene, is doing these manipulation tactics. And in one of the few good little like moments of the movie, he's very industry-like. He is like Industry, the show, the HBO show, which I was talking about earlier, very similar. They're salespeople also. Plug in! But very much like that, he's like, well, I'm offering you this great deal now, but the way this works is the last town or so, maybe 2, but, like, the last 1 or 2 towns, like, we don't have to pay them money because we got all the rest around. So we have to pay all these other counties money. So why don't you be one of these counties that's gonna get paid a shit ton of money? Don't be the last people, after we already bought the other towns. Okay, so that's the thing, right? Why would this company send John Krasinski like this is the only town that's important? And
Yeah.
why would they risk all of that with Matt Damon and Frances McDormand, their own workers?
Like, he never really seemed like a particularly good salesman. I never got the sense watching him try to sell fracking or to try to get these people to sell their land. I never got the sense that he was particularly persuasive or anything more than just like a normal man. Like, I don't know.
No, but see, it
Um,
doesn't matter because they said he got a promotion and that they said he was great. So that they don't
Yeah.
need to show it. He could be a dumb
Yeah.
what the whole rest of the movie, and we're gonna just believe he's this genius. Same with John Krasinski. I don't care. I just gave myself away. I'm a genius and I'm one step ahead. Bye.
Oh
I'm like,
God.
oh my god.
His name, Dustin Noble. Ridiculous.
That was his
Dustin
name?
Noble.
Oh my
Dustin
god.
Noble.
Noble. He's noble. And here's what's funnier, because the whole thing was a front, you could argue, unless I'm missing something, that was a fake name also in the movie.
That's true.
So in
That's
the movie,
true.
this company or him chose the fake name, Dustin Noble.
Yeah.
What the hell? Okay. Was it not like Eddington, this twist? Was this not the same stuff as Eddington, but a lot worse? Yeah, a lot worse.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Eddington is still worse. I hated
What?
No, but the
Eddington
thing
more.
in Eddington, no, but the thing, not the movie overall, but the parallel. Do you not see the parallel?
Yeah, but honestly, I thought Eddington was much more poorly executed.
Eddington to me seemed a lot more. It wasn't realistic. It was over the top. It seemed a lot more plausible than the way they did it in this movie.
I don't know.
Because
At least this movie, it didn't try to like both sides everything. It was clear
What?
about its.
No, this was worse because it made no sense. I was like, what am I even watching? It was
I
like
mean,
some
it's
lecture by some dude rambling, and he had important points. But then I didn't even understand it. Like, this is important stuff in this movie. It should be told in a way that actually shows people what's going on. Because
yeah, and
with all this
I don't
stuff,
know.
it takes away the impact. It's like, what is even, for the average person watching this, what are they going to learn from?
Well, this isn't the Eddington Rant podcast.
That's true. We must not go down that trap.
We should continue talking about Promised Land before we go on a tangent.
Yeah.
But I just mean with the gas company here. No, I am talking about this movie now. What I was talking about. I'm saying there's good messages in here. Eddington was a comedy, so that's why it's not as, for me, not as big of a deal. But it's still pretty bad in that movie, and it's way worse here. I'm like, this is supposed to be a somewhat educative movie, and I'm like, all this does is convolute it for people watching, for the mass majority of people watching. If you really want to impact change and you want to teach these people what's going on, how can you do that and then throw in this, well, the company was the same, he was just bought by the same company, and they would just
I don't know.
automatically go to Matt Damon after he gets revealed to be a liar, because once one environmentalist is exposed, they're done forever.
It's not like it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's called astroturfing.
No, it does, but I mean the way they showed it in this movie, in the plot line, it was so badly integrated, and it doesn't help
Yeah,
that his
yeah.
acting was so
That's true.
bad.
Dean, do you want to like continue on with your thoughts on The Insider? Was that what you were talking about by Michael Mann?
Oh, yeah, the documentary.
Oh, documentary. Okay, I thought you were talking about
Yes.
the Michael Mann movie.
Ooh, that does sound like a very interesting movie. I gotta
Yeah.
see it. No, but obviously it's a documentary, so its whole point is to lecture you. But I thought obviously that movie was much more effective at convincing the viewer of how oil companies, their whole job is to lie to you and to sow doubt about the reality of climate change.
I would love to watch it. I bet it's a great.
Wait,
I just mean this isn't a documentary. This is
Yeah,
Promised Land, and the way they did it, they towed a weird line.
they definitely could have done a better job in this movie with, like convincing us of the horrors of fracking, which, it is generally horrible and it is not like a clean energy at all, like
yeah.
oil companies try to sell it as, because, there are
You
so
mean
many.
natural gas?
Yeah, natural gas. People, they say it's cleaner than coal and oil when in reality it's actually not, because methane is a really bad greenhouse gas, and fracking produces methane when you don't cap the wells, which the oil companies never do because no one forces them to, but yada yada yada. None of that was in this movie, and they didn't really even have any particularly scary images besides the dead cows. Uh,
You gotta appeal to those Indiana farmers.
oh god, not the cows.
They
The
don't
poor
care about
cows.
the gas. They care about the cows.
Yeah. Oh man. Like the land around the cows honestly just seemed kind of fine. Like it was just the cows.
Yeah.
And there was all this talk about water contamination, but we never saw that in the movie. Unlike in a much better movie, How to Blow Up a Pipeline, in which one of the
Amazing
main
movie.
characters, it's great. It's much better than this movie at, convincing the viewer of its political agenda, because one of the main characters is a West Texas rancher or farmer who gets his wells contaminated by fracking, and then he goes on this just mission against the pipeline. And unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, you do not actually learn how to blow up a pipeline in this movie.
That's not unfortunate. I don't think that should be spread to all the people. There is a lot of people with mental illness and could take it the wrong way. The
That's
unintended
true.
way.
That's true.
I think I want to continue on with how this
I
storyline
agree.
goes, because after Krasinski reveals himself, Matt Damon has a change of heart,
Oh
after
god.
seeing a girl at a lemonade stand.
I'm gonna stay in this town forever. This is my new home,
You're so nice and
Pennsylvania.
honest.
He tells the truth about what happened in Louisiana. It's like, why did you lie that you were from Nebraska when this did actually happen in Louisiana?
Just to make it look stupid, like environmentalists are stupid, y'all. Don't trust them. They don't even know what state this picture is
And then
from.
after Matt Damon has a change of heart, obviously he gets fired. But then after that, he goes to the teacher's house and basically takes her out in the most cutest way possible.
And now they're gonna get married and have kids on their big farm that a high school teacher somehow has. She has this huge farm. I get it's the middle of nowhere a little bit, so it's like
Also,
a
it's
rural
her
area, so it's like you can
dad's.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, but
family farm.
still, okay, fair. But like, she has this huge farm. It's just perfect for them. They can raise a whole family. Nature, baby.
This is
Okay,
ridiculous. Like,
so we've been
she
hip
was not a
scoffing.
character. She was just love interest number one. And as soon as
Yes.
he has his big change of heart,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, come
Knock
into my house.
knock.
Yep. Well, I was initially bringing that up earlier, and we got on this whole. We kind of been skipping around, but to get back to it with the dual romance plots.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. I have one more thing. One more
Oh,
thing about
what?
the ending.
Sorry.
So, do you think this movie would have been better if it ended where Matt Damon was able to sell fracking to this town, but then discovers afterwards what he did was wrong? Because like this ending is too cheesy. This
hmm
movie did
I
not
would.
deserve a cheesy ending.
I would have
Yeah,
liked if
I
we
agree.
maybe if the script was rewritten and we got more emphasis on John Krasinski, because as in the movie, and maybe this is just how it is, he seems like a sociopath. He's
Yeah.
explaining to little kids passionately about how bad natural gas is, like, and then he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna get paid to get these people on natural gas. It's like, are you a sociopath? Like, money, I guess.
Yeah. It didn't even seem like a particularly good explanation of how fracking
Yeah.
poisons communities. Like he just dumps a bag of sludge over
Yeah.
There's
the little
chemicals.
farm. It's like it descends from the heavens like some
And
sort
then
of
he
divine
sets it on
punishment.
fire in a kid's classroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
I think it would have been better if Matt Damon found out Krasinski was one of them when he became vice president, and then he saw his name or met him at the office or something like that instead of
yeah.
Oh, that would have been cool. A
Mhm.
little generic still.
yeah, but better
It
than
would
what
have been
happened in this
punchier.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Anything would have been better. It would have been better if Matt Damon still lied at the end. It would have been better if John Krasinski came clean. It would have been better if Frances McDormand also made changes in her life.
Wait, yeah, what was up with that with the grocery store owner? Like, what were
I
they
don't. It was
Rob.
because they both had
Rob.
romance plots.
Rob's
Everyone
guns,
needs a
groceries, and
romance plot to
guitars.
tie them to the land. Okay?
Oh my
We need
god.
all the romance. And John
Ugh.
Krasinski as a rival.
And they try to stage a county fair, straight out of Hallmark.
And I was gonna
Um,
mention Warhorse all over again. Did you
oh
guys think of
god.
that with the rain?
Kinda.
Kinda, yeah, honestly.
I was like, this is worse than what y'all were claiming with Warhorse. This is
It's the same
way
level.
worse. No, this is worse because it just happens because it's not a thing of like, oh, it rains at all in any period of time and crops can be destroyed, which was a true thing to an extent. But it happened to be for the plot. This, it's like, no. On the one day of this county fair, the one day it's pouring rain.
It's the same thing with Warhorse, though. Like, on the one day he goes up, they're both bad. They're
No,
both
but you
bad.
could say it
They're-
rains
Yeah.
a bit. They're both bad, but this was even worse for me because with Warhorse, I could defend why maybe they'd include that in what they're trying to say. With this, there's no
Yeah.
backing it up. I'm like, they just chose the one day of this county fair that they needed, which they say repeatedly, this is our last hurrah, this is our last chance. It pours
Man.
rain, and then the old teacher drives up and like gives him the middle finger or whatever. I'm like, what is happening? Ugh.
He just completely disappeared. Like I thought he would
Yeah.
be like a main central
But then they
character.
still go to his house after that.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's the
God.
one that
Which was weird
convinces
to
Matt
me.
Damon
Mhm. Yeah.
before he gets the news that John Krasinski was lying, and then he gets the news that John Krasinski was lying.
Honestly, this movie got so ridiculous that I thought at one point, oh my god, are they gonna reveal this teacher to be like a biological dad of Matt Damon's character or something? I'm like, are they gonna reveal that for like oh, this is his true home. See, it metaphorically reflects. But they didn't. But I was like, what the fuck? They were just in his house. I feel like if anything, they made it seem kind of like glamorous for a lot of people to be oil people or natural gas sales. They kind of made it seem like it's like a little bit like a job you want because they go around, everyone is just like praising them for the most part of like, "Oh, you're saving our community. Y'all are saviors," giving them free food, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All this stuff, some people hating them, but other people being like at the coffee shop with the waitress randomly being like, "You get free coffee because we know
Yeah.
you're saving this town, and we know they're just liars." And
I gotta say, Matt Damon, he went to Harvard, right? Or John
Yes, he
Krasinski
did.
went to Brown in
Wait,
the
I don't know
real
about
life.
John Krasinski, but Matt Damon was a Harvard dropout because he had to
Mm.
focus on his acting. But he got an honorary degree.
I gotta say, it kinda showed, like, the their coastal bubble-ness.
East
Like, that one
Coast.
yeah, the one character played it by Scoot McNairy. Honestly, it was such a caricature that I thought it was kinda offensive, like
Rob.
it was offensive.
I think his last name is Geary. He was repairing his tractor and wearing a baseball cap when Matt Damon first meets him. His brother was killed in the Iraq War in Fallujah, and he kinda has a cartoonish Southern accent in Pennsylvania, of all
Oh, that
places.
guy.
And, yeah, he buys, like, a Lamborghini after
Yeah.
getting his $5,000.
Oh, yeah.
See,
Uh,
and it was that I think that was supposed to be funny, and I guess it kinda was, but it wasn't, like, laugh out loud or anything. Yeah, like, it was just kind of a stereotype that felt like it was written by people who went to
haven't
Harvard.
lived the land.
The whole movie felt like a stereotype. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, here was my point. Not that John Krasinski and the whole twist could not happen in real life. It was just the way it was executed. Like the way they were portraying environmentalists and the way they were portraying these people as if they're like almost like most of them are dumb or something. But I'm like, they're not. Like, just because you live in a rural area, there are dumb people, but there's also really smart people. And I guess they showed that with the teacher, but he was like more so like retired. Like they had to
Mhm.
make him retired from some prestigious, I
Yeah.
forgot what it was in the movie. They couldn't just be like, no, he's a random rural person who's a high school teacher, but he
Mhm.
knows his stuff. There's the
Yeah.
internet. It's 2012. I
In the
think
movie,
this
he had
movie
a
was set
PhD.
during, yeah.
Yeah, he had a PhD from Cornell, which just kinda takes away the whole
I'm
they love
like,
their
it
Ivy
would have
Leagues.
been better if they just said, no, there's no like, history of him. But,
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
he's a smart dude anyways, because a lot of smart people in rural areas who can't afford for
Mhm.
colleges, sometimes there are grants, there are things, but especially back in 2012, like, may not have been able and, way earlier because it was an old guy, right? Like, may not have been able to afford a prestigious
Mhm.
university. So I kind of felt like it oversimplified it of just like, oh, the main smart guy who lives in this town is a
Yeah.
coastal elite who just
Yeah.
likes this farm area and is retiring. Not
Yeah.
farm area, but you know what I mean, like this rural town. Like,
Mhm. That was really where the hallmark moviness of it all shined through.
he should have said to Matt Damon, "Hey, I had the test done. I'm actually your biological father."
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
was expecting it during the talk. I was like, they're gonna just
Uh,
throw it in. Thank God they didn't, but
oh, man.
honestly, it would have been at least over the top.
So, are you gonna talk about Francis McDormand's romance plot?
Oh
Well, there's
god.
not even
What
much
the
to
hell,
talk
man?
about because why was it even included? It was even
uh,
worse.
I have no
Oh
idea
my
what they were
god.
doing there.
yeah, yeah.
Rob's guns, guitars, and
Uh,
groceries.
Rob. He doesn't even have a last name. He's just Rob.
He's Rob. He wears his black
Uh,
shirt. Uh,
he's also like the stereotypical right winger.
mhm. Yep.
It's to make people feel emotional at the end because it's like, oh, but Matt Damon and the elementary school teacher are gonna get married and have babies together, but not Francis McDormand and what's his name again? Rob.
Rob.
Oh, they're not
Uh,
together. It's so sad. It's a tragedy. It's the most emotional movie of all time. It's a greater tragedy than Titanic. I can't.
The scene where Matt Damon gets punched at the bar is very Good Will Hunting
Over the
esque.
top.
Yeah.
The whole time I was just comparing this movie to better movies
Yeah.
by Gus Van Sant.
That's never a good sign.
On its own, it's like pretty fun scene, but it doesn't. It's not. It's not the movie that needs
Yeah.
this scene, you know.
Yeah.
Serious movie about fracking.
8 shots.
That's crazy.
This is a
An
weird
absolute
question, but
vodka.
let's just ask it on the podcast. Dean, have you ever had 8 shots at once?
No, I've never even had 4 at once.
Well, I've had 4. I've never had 8.
In 4 minutes? Wow, that's impressive.
I'm trying to think. It
salute
would
you.
have been just once if I
What?
did it all.
Wow.
It was like a
That's
dare, but I didn't. I
Like-
would never do 8.
I
And 4
wasn't
was my
familiar with your
max.
game.
I
apologize.
never blacked out, but that would be like the max, and he did 8.
8 is it's like alcohol poisoning. That's why.
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, take him to the emergency room.
Right.
Wouldn't that have been an interesting plot twist if he died and then it followed Francis
Oh,
McDormand?
That's good.
Honestly, it would have
I'm
been
thinking-
a better movie with Francis McDormand without
Yeah.
Matt Damon's stupid romance plot.
I agree.
Yeah.
Matt Damon's no Marion Ravenwood from Indiana Jones. She had like 30 shots, I'm pretty sure.
Jeez.
How she's alive,
That's
we will
crazy.
never know.
Is she the one from Temple of Doom?
No, she's the Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's that like amazing
Oh.
shot sequence where like it goes back and forth in one shot between Marion and the random old guy, and then the old guy thinks he's won because he takes the last sip, but then he faints and Marion wins. It's such a good scene.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna look her up
Spielberg
because I recognized
got
her
the
from
juice.
something, and I will say I didn't mention her. Not that it was an amazing performance, but I did think she did a really good job for the terrible script it was, because
Are you talking about the
high school
girlfriend?
teacher,
Oh, okay.
just because she was likable, but the role was
alright.
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't amazing, but I was just like, she's likable, but she deserved a better script for sure.
She's in La La Land as Sebastian's sister.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, a much better movie. Well, maybe not
Eh.
for Dean.
What? No, even Dean, you would have to say La La
Yeah.
Land's better, and
I
we can
agree.
compare them because the
For
same
sure.
cinematographer,
Yeah.
which is the
Mhm,
better
mhm.
movie.
For what the movie needs in terms of cinematography, like he's great, but not the movie around him.
Yeah. Danny Elfman's music it's very forgettable. It's
Oh, very. I kind of liked it
Yeah.
first, the
Inspirational.
Xylophone, but then they took it nowhere, and then they kind of got rid of it.
Yeah. I think the opening, the xylophone music was pretty good, but it kind of got lost in the stupid Hallmark movie.
It was worse than Hallmark. At least Hallmark, you can watch it as like a so bad it's good.
Yeah.
This was like
It's true.
really bad. This felt like it was, I think, under 2 hours. It felt like 4. But I don't know what happened. I thought Danny Elfman was like a amazing scorer, but he has not gone the way of Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
Well,
Not exactly. I don't know.
he's already had like a lot of bangers, like Spider-Man or
Yeah,
Batman, or then
I mean,
also
true, but
his stuff
He's
with
a made
Oingo
man.
Boingo.
no, I mean gone the way as in he hasn't. I feel like Hans Zimmer almost somehow keeps getting better and better.
Right, like
Whereas,
Hans Zimmer is like a classically trained musician, I think.
but his stuff feels so modern in a weird
Mm.
way. Like he's classical, but he evolves.
Yeah.
I agree. The score was lacking. It was generic, except for the xylophone, which was just weird at the beginning in context. Hey, the film started and almost ended with a shot of Matt Damon using water in a sink.
That's true. That
What
was
does that
yeah.
mean?
something.
I don't know.
Beats me.
Him washing away his sins to go to the promised land.
He uses
God.
at first he's corrupted. He uses urban water, and at the end
Ugh.
he's using rural water.
He has finished his odyssey.
Any final things to say about this movie?
I think the more we've talked about this, I'm gonna lower my rating to a 3.5 for now. I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
lower it because the only thing we unanimously said was even good
Yeah.
was the cinematography and a little bit of the directing from a visual standpoint of like
Yeah.
shot composition. We have
Mhm.
not, correct me if I'm wrong, but besides certain performances being decent or not terrible, I don't think, or oh,
Well,
well, they tried with a message.
and have the performances been like bad? I think they're just mediocre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Krasinski was
Oh,
terrible.
okay. Krasinski.
No, but
Barring
I was saying that
Krasinski.
was the only pro. Like, what other pros? Like, I'm struggling. Like, I don't want to say this about a movie. I want to
Yeah.
say other pros. What does this movie have? Not intent, but in execution, besides visuals.
Well,
And oh,
it
most of the performers weren't horrible except one.
gave attention to fracking.
Yeah.
I think that's
See,
good.
at least he
And
shined
because
that
of
spotlight.
that, it got an award. Yeah, this was in the National Board's top 10 movies of 2012.
Wow.
What?
Guess
There's
what movie?
no way. I don't care if this
Yes.
2012 ends up being a terrible year, which we know it's not. I don't care. That even then I wouldn't put this in the top 10. I wouldn't put this if it came out this month. I wouldn't put it in a top 10 of January 2026.
They always have like one interesting choice. They chose F1 for 2025. So
What?
there is
Wait,
that,
so
yeah.
they're saying they choose one movie a year?
Fascinating.
No, 10 movies, and then like one of them's like interesting.
Oh, well, F1, if it was like a number 10, I could see because of the sheer like filming. And
Yeah.
and the cast was likable. I would watch. I think F1. I have problems with it. It is 100 times better. Well, it's a 10 times better movie than Promised Land.
The thing that makes me stick to a 5 is just that honestly it might be a 4, but like the script is bad, but like everything else is not horrible. It's
But
just
like that's
Yeah.
not
It's
for
the
me. I'm
eminently
like that's not
competent.
enough.
yeah.
At least for a 4, like in the beginning of bad, that's not like
3,
you
2,
have to
1
be.
also has to be like a bad
Mhm.
movie overall. And
I
this is just
agree, but
like
I thought there were
a
things
terrible
that were kinda
script.
terrible. Okay, I'll
Terrible
stick with the
script.
4, but I'm not
Yeah.
going any higher. I'm capped at a 4, which is terrible.
Yeah.
I think I'll stick with 6.
I
It's
think
my
I'll stick with a
scale.
5. All right. Well, let's move on to Dead Wire. All right. So Dead Wire is a movie that was actually released in festivals last year in 2024. It was released at the 82nd Venice International Film Festival, along with films like J. Kelly, Bulgonia, and No Other Choice, which Dean has seen. And this was a movie also directed by Gus Van Sant, starring Bill Skarsgård and Darcy Montgomery from Stranger Things.
Very good actor.
Yeah, very good actor. Um, yeah, so this film was actually not written by Vincent. It's written by a guy called Austin Koldinsky, and he got the inspiration from a podcast episode. But he did go to a pretty good source on this. He went to the documentarians behind the documentary Dead Man's Line. So this should be quite faithful. Um, since this film is not released in Japan, I haven't seen this, but these two have. So yeah, I'll just start off with what are your thoughts, guys?
Honestly, I loved it. At least, not to spoil anything, but of the movies we watched for the podcast so far, I think this might have been my favorite. Just
Oh.
because Mhm. Please hold for Jack's takedown. But I just thought it was such an amazing taut thriller that had such an old-fashioned feel, kind of like Relay, which I watched on Netflix in December and which I find myself unable to stop plugging, but it was so atmospheric, and I loved the use of still photographs and, like, bringing in all the clips of old local news footage, just, to give it a little texture and to make it not just about the central event of some guy tying a shotgun to another guy's head, but also about the media bonanza that surrounds it. And how that was like also played a very integral role in the story because the guy just wanted to get on TV and talk to his favorite radio DJ played by Coleman Domingo, very suave as ever. And also, I think another thing I liked about this film was it was kind of oddly funny, or it like recognized the humor in the situation, even though it doesn't seem like a very funny situation. It also kind of is in a lot of ways, just because Bill Skarsgård's character, he's very stiff and awkward, and the film brings that out at key moments, which comes off really well. And he has a great, not to spoil anything, but at the end, he has a great rant that kind of reminded me of Network.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Al Pacino, he also added to the humor in a way that I really liked. Sue me, but I thought he was perfectly cast, and his southern accent was perfectly cartoonish. And also, he's got the Dog Day Afternoon.
Another 70s incident, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so, I just thought it was really well made. It got done what it wanted to get done, and it was perfect. Like, what more could you ask for January? Yeah. Go see this movie.
What's your rating?
I think I give it an 8 out of 10.
All right. Well, what are your thoughts, Shaq?
Okay, I will start off with a positive because I think it's worth mentioning because it does not go along with the rest of my review. I think Bill Skarsgård is an incredible actor, and I think he's only going to get better with time. And this
Mhm.
film, while not necessarily like an Oscar-worthy performance because of the material, he gives it his all. He's down for the tone of this movie. I think he provides the best moments, and he's really good as Tony. I mean, I haven't seen the true story, so I don't know how accurate it was, but just within this movie, I liked him. I am going to go against you, Dean. I think this is the worst movie we've reviewed on this podcast so far.
Oh,
Wow.
Promised Land might have
Interesting.
had a worse script in terms of more shockingly bad things, but I have never seen this movie is a thrill-less thriller with no thrills. It seems like an old man rambling about the past, about this amazing story that he experienced, on the news during his time and had no idea of how to properly tell it. Okay? Watch the documentary instead. Okay? I haven't even seen it, but at least you're going to get an accurate picture. The performances around Bill Skarsgård were terrible. Okay? Coleman Domingo was not terrible. He brought a little bit of his euphoria charm because he's that amazing. But he
Mhm.
wasn't given
Mhm.
enough material. Everyone else, Dak Ray Montgomery, I did not recognize him because the weird prosthetics. I loved him in Stranger Things. He was so bland in this movie. He had no personality. Okay.
Mhm.
Al Pacino was atrocious. He had a southern accent that was like a bad SNL skit. It was terrible. Cary Elwes, I don't even recognize where he was. Maybe he had
Same.
good makeup, so maybe that is a good sign of a good performance.
He was the cop with the sideburns.
Okay, well, he was good at not making me think it was him, but he didn't have much of a role. I can't. And
Yeah, I
then the
agree, yeah.
worst of all is Mahala. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm not gonna say she was Razzie worthy in this, but I thought, and it probably is because of her role in the script. I thought she was terrible, and I've been watching the show Industry, which I mentioned, for now 3 seasons, and she is, I think, based on that and Bodies, 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 but especially Industry on HBO, I mean, one of the best actresses I've ever seen. She's a powerhouse, and in this movie, like, her character is not supposed to be a powerhouse per se, but I don't know, I thought she was terrible in the movie. I don't even know if I can blame her,
Mm.
but it was terrible. She was terrible as the news anchor, and they didn't give her story enough of a focus. One of my main problems with this movie is it tries to tackle all these different perspectives, which I appreciate, but it doesn't give enough attention to any of them. So it just feels random and disorienting, and not in a good way. It's just like
Mm.
none of the plot lines at all are fully developed. I have no idea besides just basic, oh, he was financially screwed. I still have no idea what actually happened. to get him in this situation. They did not make that clear at all. They didn't even care about it.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, maybe Al Pacino said something and it was hard to tell in a southern accent, but unless that was the case, I don't think they revealed anything at all, really, except just generic, he was financially screwed over and he needs money. That's the only explanation given. I thought, as good as Bill Skarsgård was, he almost was kind of sidelined in his own movie, but he wasn't even sidelined for any one character. It was just all way too spread out. And the movie has this weird comedic humor, which sometimes worked with Bill Skarsgård, but other times, again, it was like the film was so laid back, which I get that's different, but there were like 2 moments with the Dead Man's Wire of them like entering a car that were tense. Everything else for me was completely tenseless. This movie was a meandering mess. It was boring. It felt like 5 hours. I wrote 9 notepads of notes because I was so bored watching this movie. And by the end, I still feel like I didn't learn enough about this story. So, in my opinion, it's a terrible movie. 4 out of 10.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
Wow, that is a
Hmm.
massive difference.
This is crazy. The gulf
That's
between
like one of your worst rated movies, is it not, Jack?
Yeah, it might not be as shockingly bad as Promised Land. Like, Promised Land definitely has more like, "What the fuck were they thinking?" moments. This doesn't have that as much, so it's not that kinda bad, but it's so badly directed, I think. It's good at showing
Wow.
the footage, it is, but it's so bad in terms of pacing, in terms of tension. It doesn't elevate the script at all. And I get not everything does. Like, some things just need to show it as it is. But in this story, the way they do it in this film, it's weird. This film feels very high effort and very low effort at the exact same time in different areas. Like the set design and the costumes and all that feels really high effort to like capture what it was kind of like. Although at the end they showed a real photo or clip of the real people and they looked nothing like they did in the movie. So I don't know about that.
Well, I think that's kind of by design, but I'll talk about it later, I guess.
Hmm.
Keep going.
I don't know, I just think for a true story, it didn't tell me why they should make this story, and it's weird because
Hmm.
some things happen in the movie, and I can see that's why you make this story, but then they don't explore any of it, and then they choose to just I just feel like nothing is fully explored, it's too stretched out, it's too ambitious to where it becomes not ambitious enough in the exploration of any one topic. So it just
Wow.
I don't know, it was meandering. Al Pacino was terrible. I'm sorry, he's an amazing actor, I appreciate him. I think he was trying to be comedic, so I can't entirely blame him. I kinda more so blame the director, but I didn't think he came across well in this movie. I mean, the only person for me who really came across well was Bill Skarsgård, who was great and has a bright future ahead of him. You know, he already does, but he has an even brighter future. I could see him winning an Oscar someday for sure. I just especially, and I'm repeating myself here, but with Mahala from Industry, that is a telltale sign for me. I know they're different characters, but she's so good in that show and a little bit in Bodies, where if I just saw this movie, I would have thought she was a terrible actress. And that's so unfair to her because, again, she's like a powerhouse elsewhere. But in this, she was just, I don't know. But I also
I don't
thought
know.
Coleman Domingo was good, but he could have been better with a better script. I don't know. I hated it.
You said it was lacking tension, which to me
Yes.
suggests that, like, you knew what was gonna happen the whole
No.
time, which
It was
is
that
not
the
the case for
film
me.
didn't care. It was just stuck in the
I
moment and not in
disagree.
an explorative way. It was just the only tense moments for me were entering the car with the dead man's wire, but even then it wasn't directed to, like, add to it, it was just because of the situation, but it wasn't there was
Hmm.
one moment that was really tense, but I guess minor spoiler, it's a stupid, "Oh, it was a dream" thing, so I don't count that. You know, it made me tense, but then it was just a dream. So I don't really like, that doesn't count to me as, like, real long-term tension. I I don't I thought it was tenseless otherwise.
I don't know. I was gonna talk about the ending, but I realized that probably involves many spoilers because I thought that was very
But here's
tense. The
the thing
climactic
is I think even
scene.
Gus Van Sant would not call this a thriller. I don't think that's what he was even
I
trying to
disagree.
do. I just think it was the wrong choice. Like, he was
Hmm.
just trying to not make a thriller at all. He was trying to make a laid back comedy for some reason.
Honestly, I have never seen The Man's remake of Psycho, but in a weird way, it struck me as like he was trying to do another shot by shot remake, but this time instead of doing it of, Alfred Hitchcock's iconic thriller, he was trying to reconstruct like real life events and kind of make his own shot by shot remake. And I was fully on board with his project of doing this and, bringing in all these different materials to, fully build this world. I did not think it lacked focus. I thought its focus was, very sprawling, but it worked for me. And I don't know. I just think a lot of the things that didn't work for you, Jack, worked for me weirdly. Just like, I don't know. There was something about its sensibility, its weirdness that I liked a lot. And I think the reasons why he was, tying a shotgun to a man's head were kind of tangled, but I kind of think that it was pretty well explained by the end. And, Matthew, who's our historian,
Hmm.
uh, or our fact checker for this episode, I guess,
Yeah.
can bring in a lot more context. But yeah, I guess we can go into the spoiler section.
Continuing off of that, what did you think was the reason why he committed the crime?
Because he was financially ripped off. That's all it said.
Well, I guess more detail is like he had this parcel of land that was just like a vacant lot, and he wanted to build a shopping center there, but he got a loan from this company, Meridian Mortgage, and this company realized they could like milk more money from him if they just told all the shopping centers and such to go to other pieces of land. And so his land would sit vacant and they would just like collect interests from him, kind of milking him dry, which I thought was really interesting
Hmm.
and also very 70s, disillusioned or very not hopeful, very bleak.
Hmm. So is this told from the perspective of Tony? Because I think there is more to the situation that I'm not sure if the film doesn't explain or if Tony doesn't explain.
This film takes no perspective. It's almost as if it is someone watching the news or like
Hmm.
someone retelling the
Hmm.
story. It has multiple people that it follows, but it never really grounds it in their perspective at all. It's like watching events unfold, but you're not really in the
Yeah.
minds of any of them, except for one dream sequence of the hostage. But
Hmm.
that's very brief near the end. And other than that, that's
Hmm.
like the one exception.
Yeah, it's a very documentaristic approach, especially at the end
Hmm.
where it seems like he's basically trying to like replicate exactly what it looked like on camera when they were doing the press conference.
Hmm. I was more so wondering, did you learn this information from Tony himself about how they were ripping him off, or was it through some
Um,
other source?
well, it was him. I think it was from Tony, but on a phone call. Like it was
Okay,
like
And it was also from
conversations
local
and
news coverage. There was a lot of
local
local news
news
coverage,
coverage.
which Tony was clearly happy about because he was getting all the attention.
Oh, so did the news say that Meridian was ripping him off?
Yeah, that's my
Okay.
understanding. They did some like outtakes, which I thought was really interesting. Like Gus Van Sant included like footage of some random local news person like messing up
oh yeah, they did
during
that.
his broadcast. It was around there,
Hmm.
I think,
Oh,
which
and
I
then
thought
the
was
And
really interesting.
newscaster separately kind of smiling of like evilly. That was kind of cringe also.
Yeah.
Of like the
What? It was
newscaster
not
just
cringe.
it was a little bit cringe. Maybe it happened in real
No.
life, but it was like but it didn't seem like it was a of an actual news broadcasting. It was just a little bit
hmm.
I
over the
loved
top.
it.
I don't know.
I
It
I bought into it completely, into his vision.
Did the news also go into pointing out like what Tony did before the situation, like before he bought them all?
Well, we learned that he has like a large family and
Yeah.
he has a supportive brother, but that's all we learned. And his dad was
but we never
abusive.
no, I but he didn't wanna see the brother. He was like, "What?"
Well, yes, he did. Like before the brother, quote unquote, betrayed him to the police.
In the actual story, like the news reporters learned that Tony had a situation where he held up his own family to get some money. So this is not like the first time where he held up some people, but the family kept it
Interesting.
not mentioned.
No, I
Okay.
think
Something not mentioned
I think
at
very
all.
cryptically one time they mentioned that he doesn't have a good relationship with his family other than this one brother,
Mm.
but they
That's
definitely
not
do not
enough
talk
to
about
suggest
theft.
what you're saying, Matthew. In my mind,
I
that
I
doesn't.
think it kind of is.
Dean, how much did you know about this story before watching the movie? I didn't know
No, literally
anything, so if
nothing.
you knew about the
I didn't know
story,
anything.
okay. I was just making sure.
Did they also talk about like how Al Pacino's character gave him like multiple extensions to his loan, which is why he decided to go to like Al Pacino at this moment instead of like, at a different moment?
No, not really.
Well, so my understanding was that, like, the extensions were part of Al Pacino's grift, like,
Grift.
just
Okay.
making Tony get more and more into debt to the company was by giving him all these
Hmm.
extensions and which would gather interest.
So it objectively paints Pacino as the grifter?
Yes, I thought so.
He does these actions like on screen, or like Decker's character like vouches for what he did, or
Well, Daiqui's character is like in the phone call to Al Pacino
hmm.
is like, come
Mhm,
on, just do what he says. Like, like stop being so. Because Al Pacino is just like, I'm not even gonna say what I need to let you
Hmm.
go.
yeah,
Let my own son go. So there was
mhm,
that.
mhm. Yeah, he refuses to apologize because he says he didn't do anything wrong. And then he says this dumb line, which I agree is maybe a little dumb. It was like something about shaking fruit off of a tree. You remember this, Jack? It was like, don't shake fruit off the tree too early, or
Oh
else
yeah, that was
you
terrible.
won't get any
I like
fruit.
blanked it from my memory.
And then it comes back in the dream sequence. It like is very silly.
Wasn't he
Um,
just the dream sequence was in the bathtub and it was a
mhm.
dream sequence of he couldn't even see it, but like them raiding and then Bill
Mhm.
Skarsgård killing all of them, but we don't see it, and then he's covered in blood, which was the best
Yeah.
moment in the movie. I wish the rest of the movie was more like that.
Yeah, obviously Gus Van Sant felt like he had some sort of loyalty to the actual events and not
Hmm.
changing much. But maybe it would have made a better movie if he
Well,
had.
no, I'm not arguing they should have changed events. I just mean, like, they only had one dream thing in the whole movie. Like, it's like either go stylized or don't. I didn't think the one scene hit that hard, so I feel like if you're gonna do that anyways, like, lean more into psychological, you
Mm,
know.
mm,
I
that's fair.
I just felt
Yeah.
otherwise they kept it so much of just, "This is what happened." I'm like, "Why am I not watching a documentary where I would make sure I'm learning all of the information?" Because Matthew, you brought up the whole thing with the family, and to
Yeah.
me, the movie did not make that clear at all. But the movie isn't interested in being that entertaining, besides Bill Skarsgård and some of his lines, that, like,
Well,
I'm like,
that's
"Why?"
subjective.
Well, in my
Well,
opinion, though,
yeah,
but it's not.
I
It's
agree with
very
Jack.
laid back. It's not tense. Like it is. Like this isn't even a hate towards Gus Van Sant and what I'm saying right now, even though I do hate him for this movie. But he wasn't trying to be tense or a thriller. I think even he would say that he was doing a laid back, almost like recap of these events.
I
Hmm.
actually agree with that. It kind of seems to be a thing with Gus Van Sant. Obviously, I have not seen many of his movies, but like his shot by shot remake of Psycho, not exactly going for entertainment value there, it seems. He just wanted to do some cool cinematic experiment where
Hmm.
he just literally remade Psycho down to the shots. Or like his movie Jerry, which is just spoilers, it's just Matt Damon and Casey Affleck, who are both named Jerry. They get lost on a hike, and the whole movie is just them walking around. I am not even exaggerating or anything. They're just walking around. There may be like less than 20 lines of dialogue in the whole thing, but I
Hmm.
loved it, even though it was not entertaining and I fell asleep multiple times. It was an amazing movie, even though it actively hates the viewer.
Interesting. So you'd say it's like he likes making hypnotic movies.
I would say that, or movies that they like actively append the viewer's expectations.
Okay.
I would disagree. I thought I was not my I felt like I was not challenged. There was nothing. It was kind of like once it started to go, it didn't have many surprises to me. It felt very by the numbers, the way they told the story. It felt to me, it felt very uncinematic. I was very it felt very much like something you would watch buried on Netflix, if I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know. I liked the directing, all the still black and white photographs that he just randomly throws in there at certain moments. Or, like at one point, one of the local news channels is just showing random footage from various sites in Indianapolis. And one of them it looks like some sort of Vietnam War memorial, which, just adds to the 70s atmosphere. Or even at the end where he's showing, like, the actual footage. I don't know. He could have done more with that, I guess, but I thought it was well directed.
So I'm assuming this film like mostly takes Tony's side of things, right?
I
As in,
would
like
agree
the
with that.
situation was caused by Meridian instead of Tony himself, like making bad decisions.
I would say so, but they do kinda show him a little bit as crazy, and then the
Mhm.
ending, I think this was true. I don't know for sure, I'm imagining it's true, but, like, he got not guilty because he was insane.
Oh yeah, that is true, and that's why now the defense has to prove that the defendant is not guilty and not the prosecution.
Oh, that's
This and
interesting.
yeah, this and the Reagan shooter were both convicted as insane because the burden of proof was on the prosecution and they were
Mm,
unable to prove that he was not insane. So that's just a little fact if you did not know that.
wow.
Yeah, but it seems that they don't in this movie that they don't talk about the fact that Tony got the loan based on a handshake deal that he had with a initial businessman. Is that
No?
right? Am I right? Okay,
No, they didn't cover
they didn't
that.
cover that. Okay.
Mhm. Nope,
So it
not at all.
seems that yeah, this movie's mostly taking Tony's side in depicting him as more of a 1970s hero or anti-hero, I suppose.
Mhm.
How is the victim Richard depicted in the movie?
Flat, boring,
He's
uninteresting.
I don't know, I see I guess I agree with all of that, but I guess I don't agree with uninteresting. His flatness and boringness was interesting to me.
But he
Um,
wasn't sociopathic
well, yeah,
either,
he's just like
which
a
is
family
just
man.
why.
He has a golden retriever. He's a nepo baby. Um,
When does he have a golden retriever? Did they mention it? Like,
I
I
think
forgot.
so.
I don't remember them. Maybe it was off mentioned.
Yeah, it was like one time, blink and you'll miss it.
Okay,
Mm,
But
okay.
he's just like, the, classic family man. He has a wife and kids and stuff.
okay.
There's really no efforts.
But that was my problem
Um,
is they just based him around, "Oh, he has a wife and kids, so he needs to get home," which can be fine if they lean into it, but it's like they almost forget that for 2/3 of the movie. They mention it at the beginning, I think a little bit, barely, and then at the end, he's, like, hugging his wife when he's reunited, but in between, it doesn't really focus on that at all, so
yeah, I guess you kinda sympathize with him during his phone call with Al Pacino, where, Al Pacino clearly doesn't care about him at all other than just as a way to amass more wealth personally for himself. At least that was how I
Hmm.
interpreted that phone call.
Does he like bounce off of Tony's character at all? Because like in the real situation, like the amazing thing was like this guy was able to be really calm while there's a shotgun pointed at his head, and Tony was like bipolar in the way he talked to him. I was wondering like if that was depicted at all in the movie.
I mean, not really. I mean, they kinda showed him as really scared throughout. He didn't really
Uh,
seem calm to me. I mean, I could
well,
imagine him being way calmer than the normal person you're tying around like a shotgun to their neck, so that's fine,
yeah.
but it wasn't. I wouldn't describe him as calm, but I wouldn't describe him as. He was just very neutral. There was just no, and then Tony, I guess you could say was bipolar, but they mainly just shown him being friendly. They didn't really show him as. I mean, I don't know the true story of how bipolar.
Well, he had some unexpected angry outbursts, Tony did, where, they got too close to the window and then he was yelling, I'm gonna blow this place up if y'all get any closer.
Well, yeah, because that was a threat to stop them from coming closer, but that wasn't necessarily like I don't know. I could see him being bipolar, but it wasn't like leaned upon. Like there
There was
wasn't
this.
many
Hmm.
like
Yeah, I
outbursts
guess
or
that's
anything. There
fair.
were a few, but not anywhere. I'm like that came out of nowhere. You
Hmm.
know, not that
Yeah,
it's justified, but not that it doesn't.
I liked their banter though. They did have a little banter. At one point, Tony asks him whether he wants ice in his milk, and he
Oh yeah,
just kind of.
I thought that man's a sociopath. Who does that? Puts ice in their milk.
Yeah, it was
In the
pretty
middle of
crazy.
winter.
Like,
Yeah.
what the
Well,
hell is wrong with
I
him?
mean, I guess it was winter. They
What?
didn't look too wintry, but
It,
it
it
was
wasn't.
winter.
They didn't show like the part where he slept on the ice.
No.
That's like a really
Wait,
funny
what?
moment, real life. Like,
Oh, he slipped. Yes.
yeah, he slipped. Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, they showed us that.
When?
Yeah. It was, when they were getting into the car, and then after he's
Oh,
approached by
you
a
mean he
priest.
almost slipped. Like he almost did. With the
Well,
shotgun around the neck
yeah,
when
I
he
mean,
was
he
getting
did
into the
slip.
car and he almost slipped, but he didn't. And then it was like, oh, the guy would have accidentally had his head blown off if he fully slipped.
Hmm.
Is
It
it
was
Matthew,
a
is that what
tense
you're
moment.
talking about?
Um, no, in the real life story, like there's a part where he actually slipped, but then Richard, knowing that he had a dead man's wire on him, like also fell down with him so that the wire wouldn't activate.
Okay, maybe that's I don't think that's how they really showed it, but maybe it
I
was
think.
I mean, it was kinda like a far angle at some point, so maybe it was
Mhm.
like that's what they
Hmm.
were trying to depict, and it didn't really look like that based on the directing of the movie. They didn't really make it they should have put more emphasis on it for sure.
I guess it's true. But I think they actually did show us the real life footage of that at the end of the movie, that
Oh, okay.
slip.
Oh, I did walk out halfway through the credits, so I will say
Wait,
that. I
what?
didn't, like, wait.
No!
No, at the end of the movie.
Oh my god.
There was no I looked it up, there was no post-credit scene as far as I could tell. And it wasn't I mean, they showed some I saw enough where they were comparing real footage, but I didn't stay when it fully went into, like, the full credits, but I wasn't
That's
sure
fair.
if maybe there were pictures throughout that, but I didn't,
Hmm.
like, care to stay beyond that point. But I
It was funny to see how many, assistants Al Pacino had in the credits. Um, he had a personal
Uh,
reader for some reason. I don't even know what that is, but
yeah, so he doesn't
he
have
had
to squint at the dialogue.
it. Uh,
So as children at this age, can't read.
what
All
a
right.
guy.
Anyways, yeah. Any final thoughts before we briefly compare the two movies?
if you wanna see a documentary of a guy wrapping around a shotgun to a guy's neck, and you wanna still not learn the full story, and you wanna be bored out of your mind by this old dude rambling about the past, if you need a sleeping aid and you want some funny lines by Bill Skarsgård throughout that sleeping aid, go see Dead Man's Wire. Instead, see anything else or watch the real documentary, which I wish I did instead.
Hmm. If you want a movie that will keep you wide awake at a very late hour in the night in a largely empty theater
Oh wow.
where you do not need much caffeine to sustain you as you join an old man who is great at rambling, at telling an amazing story with many twists, and in a great 70s setting with an amazing atmosphere and some really interesting directorial choices to bring in local news footage, and a great ending scene with an amazing performance by Bill Skarsgård, who has an amazing angry performance, which is well channeled in the final scene and final rant, which struck a nerve with me. Then you should go see Dead Man's Wire.
In theaters now. All right. I think it's kind of pointless to talk about which you guys preferred because I think it's pretty clear.
They both sucked, alright.
But
Oh god.
how do you think Gus Van Sant evolved or devolved as a filmmaker between the two movies?
He definitely it's hard to say because this was a period piece. So it's hard to say if it was just how much was style and how much was execution. He's definitely not evolved. I don't know if he's devolved. I mean, the cinematography devolved, but it was not the same person doing both movies. So I don't know.
Linus Sandgreen's like a top
Yeah,
5
it looked way
cinematographer, so
yeah,
like
it
you
looked
can't blame
Promised
it.
Land looked way better. It looked beautiful, it looked stunning. This movie looked flat. It looked like Netflix. I don't know. Like that's not really a devolve because it's not the same person. But I'm just saying as a director there wasn't like I don't think he's evolved.
Hmm. I don't know. I guess Promised Land felt very much blander than Dead Man's Wire felt. So I think it represents a sort of evolution, or at least a sort of like letting his hair down and just doing whatever he
Mm.
wants, rather than having to stay within the confines of like a very sappy, bland, inspirational movie, Promised
I have
Land.
the complete opposite verdict though. I thought he did not I felt like he thought he was shackled by this story, which is weird because he admitted so much stuff out that he didn't take any real risks. He didn't strive to truly explore the situation.
Hmm.
It was
I don't
lazy a
know.
little bit to me.
What?
It
I thought he
was.
took a lot of risks, all the local news footage, all the black and white stills,
Yeah, but it
um,
wasn't like I don't know.
the
It
dream
could have been
sequence.
better executed. The dream sequence, yes, sure, but why wasn't he doing stuff like that throughout? I don't
I guess that's
understand.
that's fair. Yeah. But I am excited to see his next feature. Hopefully he gets one.
I'm excited to never, unless I have to for this podcast, never watch besides Good Will Hunting, the only Gus Van Sant film
Wow.
I've seen that's worth watching. Let me tell you, Drugstore Cowboy was fucking
Hey,
terrible.
what about My Private
Okay.
Idaho?
Yeah,
Haven't seen
or
it, but now I
Jerry,
don't want to.
or
But maybe it's
Elephant.
better, but I don't want to after this.
Last Days is about Kurt Cobain. You'd probably enjoy that one a little.
I don't know. It's gonna take a lot of convincing. I mean, you never know. I will have to be heavily convinced, besides Good Will Hunting, to ever watch a Gus Van Sant film again.
I think you should watch Jerry, or at least like put it on in the background. Maybe you get like really angry uh, at how bad it is, or good.
Well, it's one
Matthew,
one
watch
more
this
question
movie.
to we'll see. If I do end up watching this, I'll do a brief review on the podcast.
You maybe should
Nice.
because I'm curious if you disagree with me. Maybe because of the fact that it is striving to capture that time period a little bit. I mean, a little bit
Mhm.
generically, but still. And you know the story, and you might be like, "Oh yeah, that is like I didn't catch it because I didn't know the story beforehand." But like, "Oh yeah, that is accurate," or that is, and Bill Skarsgård is good. But so I'm curious, but I wouldn't be like, "Oh yeah, Matthew, you need to watch this."
Hmm.
But
Well, yeah. Anyway, one more thing. Do you think he should stick with sappy movies, or do you think he should go
I think he should never direct again.
What?
that are
Give
more
him a
sarcastic
chance.
in tone?
I
We
think
gave him 2
sarcasm.
chances this podcast episode, years apart.
Uh,
That's true. We kind of,
well,
I don't know. He was really successful with Milk, so I guess maybe he should like alternate between getting a lot of money with the Milk movie.
He should direct a straight to Netflix movie. That's what he should do.
more sap or sarcastic?
I like his sarcastic movies more.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Well, we can't know what Dead Man's Wire's box office is because it just went wide. So let's jump back to when Promised Land went wide. Even though it was released at the end of 2012, it went wide a couple of weeks later on the weekend of January 4th to January 6th. The first movie is actually new to this weekend. It was released by Lionsgate. Pretty successful year after Hunger Games and the last Twilight movie. The movie made $21 million in its opening
Wow.
weekend. It is a reboot of a classic horror franchise.
Oh god.
A reboot of a classic horror.
Fright Night.
Nope.
Oof.
One of you
Uh,
has seen this recently.
oh wow.
Okay. How
Strange.
Or-
recent? Like last month?
Not this reboot, but like the original.
Oh.
Within the last few months.
Interesting. Scream.
This takes place in a place pretty close to you guys.
Oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It is, but it's called Texas Chainsaw.
Oh god.
Yeah. Not a very good movie. But, gotta get that Dumpury money. But the next movie is also released by an interesting pair. It's distributed by a pair that should not be named. Has made $20 million this weekend.
I assume a certain pair of brothers.
Yes. This movie was directed by a certain guy who refuses to make his next movie and instead pawn it off to someone else.
Is it Hail Caesar? Wait, no, that wasn't Quentin.
No.
Was it Quentin? No, it's the Coens.
Quentin,
Get
yes.
Out? No.
Yes,
Oh.
it is Quentin.
Oh. The Hateful
Yeah.
Eight.
No, bit earlier. This
Oh.
released also end of 2012. I think you might be able to get that.
I don't know.
Django
I'm not looking
Unchained?
it up, so.
Oh yeah, it's Django Unchained. It has a total gross of $100 million by this weekend. The third one is a movie we talked about 2 weeks ago, I think. The trailer for this released, I think. A Warner Brothers movie. It is a prequel to a very popular series of films. It is in its fourth weekend. It's made $263 million so far, and it made $70 million this weekend. Is based on a very popular book, Singular.
Warhorse.
The book had a couple sequels that were adapted before this movie.
The girl.
You said
with the
we talked
dragon
about it
tattoo.
on the.
We talked about it in the old news segments.
Oh.
There is a new movie in this franchise coming soon, much to
Hunger
our
Games.
much to our
Catching Fire.
disappointments.
Oh god. Is it Resident Evil? No.
No. We are excited about Zach Krieger. We are not excited about this movie.
Oh, Narnia?
No.
I'm
Frederick
excited
Urich?
about
Yeah. Why would we? It is in the same
Well, I
genre.
didn't know because I don't. Yeah.
It's fantasy.
Oh.
It is about a long walk. Some might say a journey.
The Hobbit.
Yeah, The Hobbit, an
God.
unexpected journey.
Oh god.
Ugh.
One of the
No,
top
for
grossing
Gollum.
movies of 2012. The next one is also a surprising hit, starring a woman that is in a lot of movies in this coming year, actually. Released by Universal Pictures, it's made $103 million so far. I actually watched this movie in theaters. It is based on a stage play, or not stage play. It's based on a stage production.
Right.
Stars a certain actress who got an Oscar for this performance. I think that gave it away.
Nice.
I don't
Silver
think it
Linings
did.
Playbook.
Interesting choices made in the music for this movie.
Oh, The Great Gatsby.
No, not
No,
that.
wait. I don't know when that came out.
It's a musical.
The Greatest
Universal
Showman?
musical.
No.
No, that came out in 2012. Very interesting music. Has
Les Mis?
yeah, Les Mis.
Yes. Oh
Jean
god.
Valjean,
Russell Crowe.
you stole my bread. And now you will go
Wait,
to
who's the
prison.
actress that's prominent this
Anne
year?
Hathaway. She's in Devil Wears Prada. She's in a Colleen Hoover adaptation. She's also in Flowervale Street. Like that's three pretty big movies, honestly.
Oh, The Odyssey.
Odyssey 4.
Yeah.
4.
There we
Yeah,
go.
there's a lot of Anne Hathaway movies this year.
The Flowervale
her.
Street thing.
Yeah, I already said that. Flowervale Street, Devil Wears Prada 2, the Colleen Hoover movie that's probably going to make like at least $200 billion. All
Oh God.
right. I'll do number 5 and then skip to, try to guess where Promised Land is after this. But yeah, number 5 is a movie I haven't really heard of before. It's 20th Century Fox. It's made $52 million so far. It is a comedy, which we don't see in theaters anymore. This is produced by The Star, and The Star is relevant to a certain Rob Reiner because he's worked with him a bunch of times.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's see.
Also stars Marissa
Hmm.
Tomei, Tom Everett Scott, Bailey Madison, directed by Andy Fickman. I just try to guess The Star. Because I don't think you can name this movie, honestly.
hmm.
The premise is
Wallace Shawn.
a couple who are asked to look after their grandchildren by their skeptical daughter, while she and her husband are out of town.
Interesting. This seems pretty generic.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to guess The Star. This guy was also the star of this movie. Is also a pretty frequent host of the Oscars in the 90s, I would say.
Oh, Billy Crystal.
Oh, yeah, okay, that gave it away. Oh, yeah, it's Parental Guidance, produced and
Never heard of it.
starring Billy Crystal.
Rip.
Yeah, all right. Our movie for this week, Promised Land, did surprisingly well, but not too well.
Huh.
Where do you think it placed?
22.
14.
It placed 10th in the
Oh, wow.
domestic box office. Yeah. First weekend wide, 10th, which I mean, on paper sounds okay, but it only made 7 million domestic and 3 million international, which made it a flop because
Oof.
it cost about $20 million.
Oof.
Yeah,
Matt
not a
Damon
great
needed
movie.
his paycheck. What
Well,
a shame.
anyways, any final thoughts about these movies before we end the episode? I thought Promised Land was a mess of a
I
movie.
thought both were a mess of movies.
I thought Promised Land was a mess, but Dead Man's Wire was a pleasant surprise.
Thanks for listening, y'all. Please comment, like, and share. Want to reach us? Connect with us on social, Instagram at moviesmetpod, or reach out on whenmoviesmetmovies@gmail.com. And we'll see you guys next week. We're going to be talking about 28 years later, The Bone Temple and Chronicle. Take care and see y'all next episode. Bye.